Hi everyone, welcome back to the 3-Hour News Show, and you have arrived at the 3-Hour News Show's specific, my favorite segment, which is See the Stories. Now, before we continue any discussion today, I would like to ask my colleague Krizia, because she's a mother, new anchor, she's also a content creator. She does hands-on for her son, Kama, with no nanny every day. Can you imagine? She cooks and everything else. So how do you balance all that, the work-life balance?
Honestly, I don't even know whether I'm doing it correctly or not, whether it's balanced or not. I just take it a day at a time.
But you survived so far. It means that you've
So
balanced
far,
everything.
but the stress are behind the scene. You
Oh, wow,
don't see
yeah.
the stressful part, but I'm actually pretty stressful in juggling these roles. It's not easy. Yes.
Wow, I kind of agree with you. I mean, yeah, a lot of mothers, especially living in urban areas like Jakarta, they have the privilege to have maids, but not for Krizia. She chose to be hands-on, taking
I
care
have
of the
trust
kid.
issue.
Oh, really?
I have trust
Okay.
issue, and I'm having difficulty delegating those
the
tasks
tasks
to
to
another
anyone.
person.
Okay, so nurturing our children pursuing a career are two different goals, but it is possible for mothers to, for us to do both at once. So to delve more into this topic, we actually have somebody in the studio already. She's an illustrator, an author, and a mother, definitely. Puty Puar. Thank you for coming.
Hello, Malia.
Welcome back to See Today.
Oh, finally!
Yeah. So first of all, we love what you've been doing. You are very active on social media in sharing and maybe educating mothers how to be loving books, very knowledgeable about things that sometimes we take for granted. We don't need that kind of information or knowledge. But then you share that, and you also write books, and you are an illustrator as well. So how can you do all that at once?
Well, I think it's a little bit different from Krizia. I don't have trust issue. But the thing is that when we're talking about work-life balance, I think it's such a myth, because sometimes we think that balance is like you really have to like give 8 hours for your family and then 8 hours for your work, or 8 hours for yourself. But I think time management, or like making it balance, is more about managing the whole resource that we have. So it's not only about the time, but also the energy and the money. So like, for example, I delegate the laundry and the cooking to
Cleaning the house.
To my assistant at home. And I think I have to accept some facts that maybe there's some time where I cannot accompany my son. And yeah, it's also about managing our expectation, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I quite agree. When you say 8, that already covers a 24-hour right, in a day. And 8 hours for me time, for example, that's kind of a lush. I mean, how long do mothers sleep? It's less than 8 hours usually.
Oh, for sure, and certainly I have to learn from you
Yeah.
to delegate, because it's not an easy job, because you delegate a work to someone and it doesn't turn out perfectly and you get all stressed out, or
Yeah.
probably it's just me, I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah, different. It's different from.
you have explained how you juggle all these different roles, plus you are going to pursue another degree, a master's degree.
Hopefully.
Wow.
Wow.
So that was apparently not enough. All the titles that you mentioned
That's
earlier.
not all in the palette. There's something
No, there's
else.
something else. There's still more. But I would like to ask your opinion on this. So we know that the situation right now is very different than, let's say, 50, 60 years ago. More and more women are pursuing career. You know, they do well in career as well as in families. How do you see this?
I think now the more women are pursuing career, I think it's a good news, right? Because
Right.
it means that women and men both have the fair chances, and regardless their gender. It's the first good news. And then I think we need more women in more industry, because when more women enter more industry, then the industry will be more ready and more friendly to women.
Right.
Yeah, like for example, I used to work as a geologist in an energy company, and I work on site, and it turns out that most of the accommodation is for men.
Males,
Yeah,
yes.
so
It's male-dominated.
Yeah, it's a really male-dominated. But so when we were assigned, like the engineers, so it's like 3 females out of like 100 males. But I think they adjust to be more women-friendly, like how they separate the bathroom, they try to accommodate. So I think when more women enter the industry, it would also make the industry more ready to accommodate more.
I mean, we've shown here in Indonesia, we've seen how the president director of Pertamina, for example, she's a female, right? And it is a male-dominated, but maybe it's now shifting into equal gender work world. But you mentioned about male as well. In this world, as Krizia mentioned, a lot of females right now prefer to be working, not only handling the house chores and stay at home. So how do you feel about the role of men or the role of father, for example, in a household that will also help and support the women or the wife who wants to work as well?
Yeah, I think it's very important that the man, I think the perception, I think when we're talking about like 10 or 20 years ago, is really different from today.
True.
Like, for example, my father, he never really got in touch with the house chores. And it was really strange that my husband now, they can take care of my kids and like just go have some time just themselves. But again, it's something really good. But also, if we think about it, when women work, they also contribute to the welfare of the family, right? The family may be able to afford better education for the kids, maybe better well-being for the whole family, because we can afford a regular holiday, for example. And also, I think what is really different when we are talking about women working, we feel that we are needed by other people, not only our family, right?
There's a sense of existence that we need to acknowledged by others.
Acknowledged by the others, and we feel that we make impact, we create impact. But some still challenge me, like, but can housewife do that? Is it fair for the housewife? I think the housewife can also feel being impactful by like joining the community or organizations. So I think it's not only about whether it is women earning money or not, but when they can socialize more, make a networking, connect with each other, and creating more impact in their life.
But that comes with mom guilt usually, because okay, you're impactful to the society, but you are leaving your child at home for I don't know how many hours per day, and that mom guilt always strikes you, right? How do you deal with that, or how do you see that? Do you often have mom guilt?
Yes, I think guilt is a good sign, right? That you actually think about your family, you think about your children, but it's about how we manage this guilt to be a motivator, to encourage us to do our work more efficiently, more effectively, so we can like make more time for our children. Like for example, sometimes we gather with moms community, and sometimes people tell me that, Mbak Puty, I really want to resign because I feel guilty about leaving my children at home while I'm at work. And then what happened to this mom is that when she's at work, she cannot focus. She thinks about her children at home. But then when she's at home with her children, she also thinks about her work. The deadline is coming, the work is unfinished. So it's kind of lose everything, right?
That's absolutely correct.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, I think I think guilt happens especially because we women are expected to be like have the main responsibility at home. But how we turn it to be like just focus on our choice, right?
Yeah.
We have choice, and we have to let go things that we cannot do or we cannot control.
Definitely, you have to be a smart mom.
Definitely.
Right? Yeah.
You know what? I rarely have mom guilt because I take this time of me working as my me time so that I can be a better mom at home.
Yeah. Now, talking about that, it means that your me time can have the stress out being lessened, right? When you come back home,
Yes.
you feel refreshed, then you meet Kama
Yes.
and your husband in a better mood, for
Exactly.
example. So I want to ask you, Puty, working moms, do they have to have this required level of stress managing, ability? Because we are, as you mentioned, sometimes we are not at presence right now when we're at work. When we're at home, we're thinking about the works that are undone.
I think, some people already have this kind of tendency to be more like neurotic and more overthinking more about stuff. But what I always tell myself, at least, and to the other moms, is that just embrace that we are human, and it's a lot of things are out of our control, and it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to when sometimes we messed up, right? Like sometimes our kid didn't do the homework,
Exactly.
or like
was thinking
wore
of
the
that.
unmatching socks, right? It's
Or
simple
wrong
things.
uniform because it's a
Yep,
different,
yep.
theme every time.
Yes.
Happened to me last week, by the way.
And maybe we couldn't provide the lunch boxes that
As
they
beautiful as other kids.
Cute
always bring.
bentos. I
Yeah,
never
cute
bentos.
do that.
It's a pressure.
I think it's really important to let those small things go. Just it's okay to mess up sometimes. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's okay to be imperfect. Just see the imperfection as a room to grow. Just keep going. I think that's
Oh my God. It just reminds me on one of the scenes of Sex and the City. I remember when she, what's her name? Sarah Jessica Parker. She is a working mom and she wants to impress the students and the moms in the school. So she bought a pie and then she sort of like ruined it and as if it's homemade. So that nobody knew that she bought it somewhere.
That is smart, actually.
Yeah.
I might want to copy that.
Exactly. So back to our topic today, when you mention mom and kids, how they will excel at school and all that, for the working mom, can we have like a standard that is equal to the tiger moms who would be there all the time when the kids need?
Well, I think as long as we can delegate, I think it's more about arranging our priorities.
Yeah.
Which subjects maybe that we need to handle it ourselves, or which one that we can ask for help. Like as for me, my son goes to Islamic school, and when it comes to like reading Quran, tilawati, I think you should find a teacher. But when it comes to maths, science, literacy, I will handle it. I'll try to make time and make it a priority. But the thing is that, being a tiger mom is a choice, and when we can do that, and we think that we are comfortable with that, we can do that. But if it's too much to handle, find some help. And yeah, I think there's nothing as like the perfect practice of like.
It's different for every family, right?
Yes, I
Depending on
agree.
the child's situation.
Yes.
Okay, so let's summarize. What are the characteristics that a woman should have in order for her to be a good working mom? I know this. The first
Less
one is
expectation. Manage the expectation.
yes, manage the expectation.
Be realistic.
Delegate.
Delegate.
What else?
I think focus on what is our intention and our goals.
Yeah.
Because when we focus on what is in our intention and what do we really want to achieve, then we can focus on that, and then we can like make sorting the priority.
Actually, working mom can give good examples and good role model for the kids as well, don't you think?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so this is getting more and more interesting. So we would like to delve more even with Puty after the break. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.